So children, to continue with the same topic, we were doing gaseous exchange, and the first reason or the factor that we were doing for the gaseous exchange was pressure or concentration gradient. I have already explained you what is partial pressure, and I have also shown you the various partial pressures at various places, like in the atmospheric air, the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Similarly, in the alveoli, in the deoxygenated blood, in the oxygenated blood, and in the tissues. Now we will study factors that will influence the gaseous exchange. The first factor that we have done is pressure or concentration gradient. But how is this taking place and where is it taking place? So we will start with the first point. Partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli is more. Now why is it more? As you see, when we inhale, the air which we are inhaling is passed on through various respiratory tract and it reaches to the alveoli. This air that we are inhaling has large amount of oxygen in comparison to the carbon dioxide. That means inspired air is rich in oxygen. And because it is rich in oxygen, the partial pressure of oxygen, as you see, is 104 millimeter of mercury. Okay, and the carbon dioxide here is 40 mm of Hg. So this is the case of alveoli. Now let us see what happens in the blood vessels or the blood capillaries. Now children, the vessels or the veins, they have deoxygenated blood, and the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the deoxygenated blood is shown here. So the partial pressure of oxygen in the deoxygenated blood is 40 mm of Hg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 45 mm of Hg. Now let's first talk about only oxygen. As you see, partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli is 104, whereas that of partial pressure of oxygen in the blood vessel, that is deoxygenated blood, is 40. So there is a great difference or great gradient. Gradient means difference in the pressure. And we all know that movement will take place from high pressure to low pressure. So the partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli is high, whereas in the blood vessel it is low. So the movement will be from alveoli to the blood vessels. You can see the arrow here. Okay, so oxygen is moving from the alveoli to the blood vessel. Now the second point, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Let's see here, it is 40, whereas in the deoxygenated blood it is 45. Again there is a gradient, but this time the pressure of carbon dioxide in the vessels is higher than the alveoli. So the movement will be from blood vessels to the alveoli, right? So this is how exchange takes place. And as I told you, when I was doing my previous video, I told you that exchange will occur in two phases. The first will be between alveoli and blood, and the second will be between blood and tissues. So we have just now studied about the first phase where the exchange has taken place between the alveoli and the blood. Now we are going to look into the second phase where the exchange will take place between the blood and the tissues. So this is the second phase. Here blood, and these are the body tissues. Now we all know that tissues require oxygen because they need to perform various metabolic activities. So they need oxygen, and the pressure level or the pressure of oxygen in the oxygenated blood is 95, whereas its level in the body tissues is very low. So the movement will be again from high to low. See the arrow. And because the body tissues are doing a lot of work, and they are consuming oxygen, so they will generate carbon dioxide. So the level of carbon dioxide here is in the body tissues is high, and in the blood vessels it is low. So the movement will again be from body tissues to the blood vessels. So this is second phase, or phase of exchange of gases. So there are two phases of exchange of gases, 1 and 2. I hope you are now clear with the both of the phases. Next factor which influence the exchange of gases is solubility of gases. How much soluble are these gases? Children, solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25 times higher than that of oxygen. So remember, carbon dioxide is much more soluble than oxygen. So the amount of carbon dioxide that can diffuse through diffusion membrane per unit difference in partial pressure is much higher than that of oxygen. It means that, yeah, you can see the diagrams here, solubility difference they have shown. This is partial pressure of oxygen, 100 mm of Hg, and this is oxygen in osmolarity. You know, this is the unit of moles per liter, millimoles per liter. And you see, diffusion in the air, the oxygen is so much, but when we talk about this oxygen to get diffused into water, it is so low. Don't just bother about these units. Even the diagram is very clear. We can see that the particles of oxygen in the air are higher, but when we talk about diffusing these oxygen particles into the water, it is less. It is less. You can see the particles of oxygen in water are less. Why? Because the solubility of oxygen is less. But now let us see the carbon dioxide. The particles of carbon dioxide in the air and also in the water, both of them are high. So you can see that carbon dioxide is much more soluble in comparison to the oxygen. Okay. So solubility of gases is also one of the factors. Next is thickness of the membrane. How thick the membrane is. Children, diffusion membrane is made up of three layers. Now you can see all the three layers. Squamous epithelium. This is your squamous epithelium. Then the outer layer is endothelium. This is the endothelium, you can see, and in between the squamous epithelium and endothelium there is a yellow layer, if you can see, which is called basement substance. This basement substance is present in between the squamous epithelium and endothelium. So all in all, there are three layers. So if the air is coming in, this air has to pass through all these three layers to enter into the blood vessels. Okay, so how thick the membrane is, this is also a bigger factor which is influencing the exchange of gases. Fourth is surface area of the respiratory membrane or the lungs. How big or what is the surface area? Children, surface area of human lung is equal to that of a tennis court. Just imagine tennis court. If we open up the lungs, the surface area will be almost equal to the tennis court. So, and jitna surface area zyada, number of alveoli will be more, and more the number of alveoli, exchange will be higher and the gaseous exchange will increase. Now suppose a patient, now if you have seen that in COVID, many people were suffering from lung infection because their alveoli were infected. So suppose there are 100 alveoli and out of 100, 50 of them are infected and not working. So the gaseous exchange will be done only by the 50 which are left and which are not infected. So then we will say that the surface area has decreased, right? So the more the surface area, the alveoli will be more, and because of those alveoli, the exchange of gases will also increase. I hope now this is clear. Exchange of gases clear to you.